Assassination is a terrible thing. Murder is bad. We all agree on that. But sometimes, history gives us assassination attempts so spectacularly incompetent that you can't help but wonder if the assassins were actually secret fans. We're starting strong with Napoleon III in 1858, a guy named Felice Orsini who decided the best way to kill an emperor was with, checks notes, throwing bombs at his carriage like he was playing carnival games. Orsini and his buddies threw 3 bombs at Napoleon's carriage, 3. And somehow, and I need you to really appreciate this, they killed 8 random bystanders and injured 142 people, but Napoleon just got out of the carriage and went to the opera anyway. He didn't even cancel his plans. Man went to see the show like, well, that was mildly inconvenient. The carriage looked like Swiss cheese. Napoleon's wife had minor cuts. Napoleon himself, not a scratch. At this point, you have to wonder if Orsini was actually throwing the bombs at the crowd. Napoleon just happened to be in the general vicinity. That's not an assassination attempt. That's just aggressive littering with casualties. Napoleon was so unbothered that he reportedly said, "We have just escaped from a great danger." But such is the will of Providence. Buddy, that wasn't Providence. That was pure incompetence saving your life. Okay, so in 1939, a guy named Georg Elser decided he was going to take out Hitler. Respect for the motivation, but the execution, chef's kiss of failure. Elser spent months actual months hollowing out a pillar in a beer hall in Munich, where Hitler gave an annual speech. He planted a time bomb. He did the math. He was meticulous. This was Ocean's 11 level. Planning, and then Hitler just left early. The bomb went off exactly as planned. It destroyed the pillar, killed 8 people, injured 63 others. Hitler had left 13 minutes earlier because he had to catch a train. The man who would go on to cause World War II was saved by German railway scheduling. You spent months on this. Georg, months, and you didn't have a plan B for what if he leaves early. That's like preparing for a test for an entire semester and then showing up on the wrong day. The commitment was there, the adaptability was not. Quick thing, if you're enjoying watching histories, most dedicated failures, hit that like button. It helps the algorithm know you enjoy Schadenfreude, as much as I do. Now, we get to one that technically worked, but was so absurdly overcomplicated that it deserves to be here. The assassination of Georgy Markov in 1978. The KGB decided the best way to kill a Bulgarian dissident in London was to shoot him with a poison pellet from a modified umbrella. Not a gun, an umbrella, on a bridge, in broad daylight. And honestly, it worked. Markov died. But can we talk about the fact that the KGB, the actual KGB, looked at all the murder methods available to them and said, you know what? Umbrella gun. That's the move. It's like they were trying to assassinate someone and win style points at the same time. DA, we kill him, but we kill him with flair. This is what happens when your spy agency has too much budget and too much confidence. The only reason this is on the list is because it's so unnecessarily complicated. You're the KGB. You have access to actual weapons. But sure, let's cosplay as a villain from a Roger Moore Bond film instead. And now, the crown jewel, the magnum opus of assassination failure, Fidel Castro. The CIA tried to kill Castro an estimated 638 times. 638. That's not a typo. That's not me being hyperbolic. The CIA literally tried to assassinate this man 638 different ways and failed every single time. Let me give you some highlights of their genius plans. Exploding cigars didn't work. Poison cigars didn't work. A poison wetsuit didn't work. Putting poison in his shoes to make his beard fall out, which would hurt his image, didn't work. And also, what? A booby-trapped seashell because he liked diving didn't work. Poison milkshakes didn't work. At some point, Castro probably woke up every morning like, okay, what goofy Looney Tunes nonsense are they trying today? The man lived to 90. He outlasted the CIA's creativity. You know it's bad when your assassination attempts could be turned into a comedy sketch show. This week on Will It Kill Castro? Explosive mollusks. Spoiler alert, it won't, by the way. If you're not subscribed yet, maybe do that. I promise I put more effort into these videos than the CIA put into their exploding seashells. Of course, we have to talk about Rasputin, the man who refused to die like he was personally offended by the concept of mortality. In 1916, a group of nobles decided Rasputin had too much influence over the Russian royal family and had to go. Reasonable concern, unreasonable execution. Here's what they did. Poison his wine. He drank it, said it was pretty good. Poison his cake. He ate several pieces. Complimented the baking, shot him in the chest. He got back up, shot him again. He tried to strangle one of his attackers, beat him with a club. He was still moving through him in a frozen river, and that's what finally did it. But even then, the autopsy showed he died of hypothermia, meaning he was alive when they threw him in. This isn't an assassination, this is a boss fight. These nobles went through his entire health bar multiple times, and he still had a second phase. At what point do you just admit defeat? After the second shooting. Third, when he's actively trying to strangle you after being poisoned and shot. That's not murder, that's a Dark Souls playthrough. The best part, there's historical debate about whether all of this is even true or just legend. Which means either Rasputin was genuinely unkillable, or his assassins were so bad at it they had to make up a story where he was a supernatural tank just to save face. Here's one that's less funny and more weight. What? Park Chung-hee, the president of South Korea, survived multiple assassination attempts, including one in 1974, where a North Korean sympathizer tried to shoot him during a speech. The assassin missed Park and accidentally shot his wife instead. She died. Park continued his speech. Now, here's where it gets weird. Park wasn't killed by political enemies or foreign agents. He was assassinated in 1979 by the head of his own intelligence service during dinner. His own guy. The man whose job was to prevent assassinations decided, you know what, I'm gonna do it. Imagine being so bad at your job that your own security chief has to do it himself. That's like your bodyguard saying, okay, I've been watching everyone else fail for years. Let me show you how it's done. And it worked. First try. Turns out the secret to a successful assassination was having the assassin be the guy everyone trusted to prevent assassinations. Who could have guessed? Besides literally everyone watching this video, apparently, honorable mentions. Guy Fawkes and the gunpowder plot spent months smuggling barrels of gunpowder under Parliament. Got caught hours before it was supposed to go off because someone sent an anonymous letter. Loose lips sink ships guy. The 1835 attempt on Andrew Jackson, where both of the assassin's pistols misfired. And then 67-year-old Jackson beat him with a cane. Jackson was saved by faulty weapons and good cardio. Ferdinand II of Naples survived multiple poisoning attempts by having someone taste all his food first. Revolutionary strategy. Simply genius. Nobody had ever thought of that before. So, there you have it. History's biggest fumbles in the assassination game. These people had conviction. They had motivation. They had plans. They just didn't have competence. Drop a comment and tell me which failure was your favorite. Or better yet, tell me which assassination attempt from history you think was the most competent, just so we can appreciate the contrast. And remember, if you're going to do something in life, maybe don't take inspiration from this video. These are literally examples of how not to do things. I'll see you in the next one, assuming nobody tries to take me out with a poison keyboard or exploding mouse, or whatever ridiculous method is next.